Don't think about it, just do it, okay? I'm sitting here, I just hung out with my friends. I finally finished my course. I look rough. It looks like I cried today or something because I have like my makeup is like smearing off, so sorry about that. But I'm talking about, don't let your thoughts or just don't let your brain paralyze you from doing the things that you want to do. Like normally I would look at myself and be like, oh my gosh, I don't look presentable enough to make a video. Like I need to wait for the right moment, and that's pretty much what's stopping you right there. If you're gonna wait for the right moment to do something, it's never going to happen. Because again, like what I was saying earlier, normally I would look at myself and be like, my makeup doesn't look right, I'm tired, I need to eat, no, like it's just never going to get done. At least it is for me. So I just told myself, I'm gonna sit down, make a video, and then I realized that I needed to finish this class before 12 o'clock, otherwise it would never get done. And after I finished my exam, I was like, oh gosh, like I don't even want to take this video anymore, I'm not in the mood. That's the big problem. If I just wait until I feel comfortable to do it, I'm just not gonna do it. Like if you're just gonna wait for that perfect time, it's never gonna happen. You just have to do it right then and now. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Basically, just obviously when it's bigger decisions, yes, put thought into it. But if it's a goal or a task, the more you sit on it, the more you think about it, the less likely you are to do it. And one example was, okay, this is very small. I had to return some Crocs, because on Amazon you can just go to like a drop-off location. So I have a Whole Foods nearby, and the Crocs were already in my car and their package ready to go. But I kept thinking about it. I was like, should I? Like, I was literally sitting in the car and I was like, should I do it? But I'm tired. I could just do it on my way to work tomorrow. And then something told me, I was like, why don't you just do it now? Like, what's stopping you from doing it now? Like, the more you sit on it, the more you will paralyze yourself and you won't do it. So I just did it. Basically just try to, just don't wait for the right moment to do it. And that's the emphasis of this video. I also have notes, so I don't get sidetracked. For those who don't know what analysis paralysis, I have the definition right here because I literally don't have it memorized. Like, I could explain it to you, but I'm kind of all over the place. So analysis paralysis describes an individual or group process where overanalyzing or overthinking a situation can cause forward motion or decision making to become paralyzed, meaning that no solution or course of action is decided upon within a natural time frame. And especially for those that have ADHD, I feel like having ADHD is just like the norm. It's very common now. I don't know, that happens a lot, especially when there's a lot of options. You just feel so overwhelmed, and this is something that I've struggled with, having a bunch of unfinished bridges. I love building bridges. I love starting things, but I don't continue them. I don't finish them because, for example, working out, that's a big thing. Consistency is so hard for me. Like, the hardest part about working out is not even the workout itself, it's getting to work out, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, I didn't sleep well enough, or I didn't eat well enough, like I'm not in a mood, so I just don't do it. So honestly, the times where I've gotten stuff done were the times where I was operating based off of impulse. Obviously, operating off of impulse all the time is not great because you're still technically just waiting for that right moment. But it's kind of, I'll have a thought of doing something like making my bed, washing the dishes. Once that thought pops up, I get up and I do it. Otherwise, if I sit there and think about it, it's just not going to get done. My coworker gave me this really good analogy the other day, and it's basically like you're the driver of your own vehicle and you're trying to hit the gas pedal. But what did I say like that? Gas pedal. I'm sorry, my accent is really annoying sometimes. but you're hitting the brakes at the same time. So you're constantly trying to move forward, but you're stopping yourself. And that's the thing, like your mind really is your own enemy, and we just let our own thoughts paralyze us, and it's really sad. And then I also wanted to talk about like motivation, and yeah, I feel like a lot of it comes from depression and anxiety and all of these things. But there was this podcast that I was listening to the other day. It's called it's on Spotify. I think it's on other platforms, but it's called the Happiness Lab with Laurie Santos. And I have never heard of this word before. It emerged, or people started to feel like this during COVID, which is really interesting. But I didn't hear about this until later on. It's basically called languishing. So I have the definition here again. Basically, if you've been feeling restless, apathetic, or even emotionally empty since the pandemic began, and I still feel this way, and I think I was feeling like that before the pandemic, I just couldn't recognize what it was. It's not necessarily this is what I put myself. It's not necessarily mental illness. It's basically the lack of mental health, and it's like basically how they described this feeling was feeling like meh, like kind of like blah about things. Like you just feel kind of empty, and I'm really glad that there's a word that I could describe this feeling, because this is what I've been feeling this whole time. It's like the feeling before you start truly getting depressed. And when you have that feeling, it's like you don't want to do anything. It's like you just want to exist, and that's it. You don't really have like that drive or that motivation, and that's like something that I've been feeling for the past couple of years, and that's why I lack consistency. That's why my YouTube is not that successful, because I don't even post that much. I post whenever is the right time. That's the issue. And I have a really tough time with looking at myself and like looking at the videos that I watch, and I oftentimes delete a lot of the videos because I don't like what I'm seeing, and I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice, because like how I view myself is not how other people view me, and I know that, yet I still fall into this like trap and cycle where I'll watch a video and be like, I don't like my hair, I don't like the way that I sound, like I'm not happy with the work, and I just delete it. So I'm trying to change that pattern, because it's never gonna get done. Nothing will ever be good enough. Nothing will ever be perfect enough. And I feel like continuing this cycle and pattern is not benefiting me and my growth. But yeah, no, the Happiness Lab is a really good podcast. And then there's another podcast called The School of Greatness by Lewis Holmes. Hose. I'm really bad with last names and spelling and pronouncing things, like as you can tell, can't even speak. But I really like the way he interviews people. You could tell he genuinely is very interested in a subject. He just looks very, I don't know, he just kind of reminds me of me whenever I'm talking to someone and they have like really interesting things to say. I'm like a little kid and I'm just like, tell me more. He's like that. So it's really helpful. But yeah, I have the tools. Like I definitely I've gone to therapy. I have literally a whole notebook of like how to deal with your thoughts. But I just don't properly use them. Just because like I said, your brain is very, very powerful, and just think about it. Like one thing that I have learned is your thoughts, think about it as you're laying down on the grass and you're looking up at the sky and there's clouds. You see all those clouds passing by. Basically, just think about those clouds as thoughts, and you're just watching them. Like try to put yourself out of that and be the spectator, and just like remember that those are just thoughts that will pass by, and don't give them too much power, because otherwise you will become paralyzed. So that's what I'm talking about. Just don't think about it too much, just do it. There's so many things that I want to do and I just never try them because I'm like, oh, I'm too scared. Like we really let fear just take over, and it's very frustrating because there's a lot of people that have so much potential, and people tell me that all the time. I see how much potential that I have, and it's very sad that I can't see that for myself because I paralyze myself and I let fear just take over. I just operate based off of anxiety and what other people think of me, and it's really tough. And that's why I'm making these videos, because although it's still a work in progress, at least if I can talk about it, and I know no one's really watching my videos, but if this can at least impact one person and have them at least feel heard or understood, then I did my job, you know? So yes, I just wanted to come on here real quick and just talk one-on-one. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself for even setting up the camera, sitting down here. So just like applaud yourself for doing really small things, whether it's making your bed, brushing your teeth, taking care of yourself. Like, just be kind. And these are some things that I'm still practicing. Like, I'm not there yet, but just be kind to yourself, be more empathetic towards yourself. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.